Welcome to the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia, where today we are checking out the Ferrox. You can get the blueprint for the Ferrox from the Energy or Corpus Lab in your dojo, and it's on the more expensive side of things because you will need a fully built forma, 5 field drawn, 30,000 alloy plates, 35,000 salvage, and some credits. The Ferrox is a Master Rank 14 spear gun that does primarily puncture damage, with the second highest damage type being slash, and then there's a little bit of impact as well. Now, it uses a charge-based firing mechanism with a charge time of 0.5 seconds. It comes with 1.5 meters of punch through and 1.8 second reload, and it has very high crit with an above average crit multi and relatively low status. It also causes an explosion upon impact with a range of 3.6 meters, and this does 100 impact damage with 40% fall off. The weapon is also very accurate at pretty much any range, which is very nice too. Now, this is still not all, because it is a spear gun, so it can be thrown as well, and you do this with a secondary fire, and it is a charge up too. This throws the spear gun up to 50 meters away and embeds it in whatever it hits, and then creates a field that will draw enemies towards it and periodically damage them. The stats on this are kind of reversed from the primary fire, so instead of having high crit and relatively low status, it has very low crit and pretty good status. Now, if you want to get the spear gun back once you throw it, you can either wait it out because it will return to your hands after a while, or you can simply run over it, which will pick it back up instantly. Now, one cool thing about the Ferrox is that it reloads a third of its magazine every second while either holstered or thrown, so if you throw it, chances are when you pick it back up, it's going to be fully reloaded. As far as the build goes, I personally like to go for the primary fire primarily, which means I don't go for status. I simply go for raw damage, crit, and some fire rate via speed trigger. So if you don't mind the charge time, you could actually take out speed trigger and put in argon scope or galvanized scope instead to get a lot more crit. Since, you know, the weapon comes with really good crit stats and you're going to be having a lot of damage, you want to juice up your crit as much as possible, but I personally prefer speed trigger. It just feels better. Now, even though the damage on the Ferrox is not bad, you'll basically be able to 2 or 3 shot the vast majority of enemies outside of Steel Path. It does feel a little bit lackluster for something that requires as much format to get going and also requires Mastery Rank 14. Also, you want to treat this as a single target, single shot weapon, not as an AoE weapon. Just treat the explosion as a nice little bonus on the side. The Ferrox is definitely not bad, it just didn't age quite as well as some other weapons. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for the primary fire. If, however, you want to do some shenanigans with the secondary fire, then go for it. You can, for example, use it as a status primer for your melee. If you're running Condition Overload, you simply throw the spear and then fight the enemies around the spear, which will proc the status for you. So I would actually recommend it for those of you that want to do some shenanigans with the secondary fire, but as I've said already, the primary fire is just not quite there anymore. But then again, if you just think the weapon is cool, go ahead and pick it up. Who am I to stop you? And that's pretty much it for the video. So I thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it helpful, and I will see you some other time. Bye-bye.